Host, and I am Will. Sorry, I don't know if my mic was turned on that last time, but welcome to Cookies Enabled, everybody. Andrew here is my editor and definitely helps with the space news for sure. But we are diving in today. We've got some awesome news for you guys. Shouldn't be a terribly long episode, but we got some cool space news, some interesting server news, and COVID news. Lots of news, lots of interesting stuff. So, first things first, space news.
Space news.
SpaceX.
Uh, quickly, before
Before
SpaceX,
SpaceX, let me remove
very quickly.
that.
So, I got a present for
Oh, yes.
myself. I called it the We Survived Venetian Festival present because that is a huge festival up here in northern
Yes, it is.
Michigan. It's insane all throughout downtown Charlevoix. And I run as I've said before, I run the pizza
Yep.
shop. It was crazy. I worked so much.
I can only
I was
imagine.
off some days. And I decided, I've been wanting this Lego set for a very long time.
Might as well treat
Might
yourself,
as well finally get
right? Let's take a look.
it. And yeah,
I
you
have
haven't seen
not
it yet,
seen it
Will,
yet. No.
but
Oh man.
there you go.
How long did this take to put together?
This was a 3 night
Three
build
nights.
because
Wow. Okay.
it comes with the Hubble
No
telescope,
way.
which
Ah.
cool thing. The Hubble, you can collapse its
Ooh.
solar panel. It
Nice.
actually fits side,
Sweet. Oh man.
which is really cool.
That is so cool.
It's a great set. It's got the air flaps on the
Yup.
back.
Yup.
Uh, the ailerons rotate.
I love it.
Uh,
Oh my gosh.
favorite bit. Favorite bit. If you pull the back, the
And the
landing
landing gear
gear
comes
pops.
down. Oh yes. You gotta have that. Gotta
So,
have that.
if anybody doesn't know, I'm a huge Lego dork. I've been building
Yes.
forever. I have the space station. I have Yoda. I have Hedwig. Boxes behind me of a bunch of
Yup.
Lego. But this is my favorite build they've ever made. It's
That is
incredible.
really
If
cool. It's
you
amazingly
can't,
accurate too.
very accurate. It was a really fun build. One of my favorite builds I've ever done for Lego. So I had to show this off
Absolutely,
very
yeah. I'm
briefly.
so happy you did. It was really
Um,
intriguing.
Maybe in the future we'll get an official set of one of the SpaceX rockets.
Oh,
That would be amazing.
yes.
Love to see the Falcon 9.
Oh, yeah.
That would make my day.
Oh, yes. And the next time we'll have to get a time lapse build of this too, for sure. Because that would be so cool.
One of these days I'll take it apart and I'll rebuild it live.
That would be
Maybe
awesome.
we'll just do like a live show with a Q&A
Oh,
or
yes.
something that could be a lot
That
of
could be
fun.
so fun. Let's,
We'll
yep.
see what happens. I wanted to show that off really
Oh, I
quickly,
love it.
and it kind of transitions, like you said, space news.
Yes.
Go ahead and
Oh,
bring it
so
up.
SpaceX here.
I said last week that SpaceX had some big stuff
Big
coming,
stuff.
and we were just waiting. And the wait is finally over. Well, we have to wait
A little
again,
bit. A little
but
bit.
for the first image, it's finally over.
At least we get some
Um,
pictures and some videos and some. So we got some good stuff to show you guys.
BN4 booster number 4, that is the first flight capable
Oh,
booster,
whoops. Let me take that off here.
has had its engines fitted. Now at the bottom there, all of those cones, there are 29 Raptor engines on this
Whew.
ship. 29.
Ouch. That's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's just a
Now,
lot.
Falcon Heavy, which was made from basically bolting together 3 of the Falcon
Right, right,
rockets, that had 27. So we're not seeing too much
right,
more in terms of thrust capacity, but it's all in one
right.
fuselage.
Exactly. And that's still so
Some people were
impressive. You can see all the
wondering,
little wires and pipes and everything kind
yeah.
of fitted in there. I mean, it's so tight. It's
Well, some people were wondering why are they using so many when they could use larger
okay.
engines, fewer of them? But the thing is, the bigger the engine, the more vibrations you're going to
Sure.
get, the higher chance of failure. Also, if 1 or 2 of these doesn't work during a launch, or even more than
Right.
that, it's still
Yep.
safe. It's not
You're not
going
going to
to
crash or
cause
nothing.
some sort of catastrophic RUD or
Right.
anything. So for them, I mean, this is
Yeah.
SpaceX. They don't do anything lightly. They study every outcome. They go through a lot of different,
It's a different view for you.
yeah, you can see all of these things. Some of the ones in the center, those are going to gimbal
Okay.
uh, to keep it on
Sure.
course. Some of them are statically mounted, but still 29 booster, 29 Raptor engines.
So awesome.
That's on SN. There it is,
Yep.
BN4, booster number four. At the very top there, you can see the grid
Yep.
fins, which we've seen before on the Falcon
Mm-hmm.
engines. Now in this launch, those don't
So like
collapse. They don't
right,
open back up. They're going to stay open for the entire
right
flight
there.
because it is just a test. Yep, right there. So it's just a test. The other image you
Yep. Yeah.
have, I
Sorry. Let me
believe,
rotate that here.
with the six engines. So this is
Mm-hmm.
Starship 20,
Yep.
SN20. Um, Now, this one, I believe they are going to try to recover the actual Starship. They've done it already with some of the previous tests we've
Okay.
seen, so they know they can do it. The booster, BN4, is going to do a soft landing in the ocean. They're not going to
Okay.
try to end it right
Right.
now, mainly because it's a first attempt. They don't want to try to have it land close to um, their launch
Right. Right. Right.
pad, because if that goes up and it takes out the tank farms with
Oh
it, then that
no.
means no fuel for further launches until they can rebuild all of
Eek.
that. And you would also be igniting a lot more rocket fuel that's in the ship
Yeah,
itself.
that's not good.
So, but they will be landing SN20
Okay.
here. Now, all of these engines are the same. There are six of them, but the exhaust cones there look different. Now, the three with the yellow ring, I explained to you
Right.
earlier, those are optimized for
Right.
vacuum,
So they're kind of
just so that
reversed.
they operate
Yeah.
outside of the atmosphere. The three in the center are optimized. They call it sea level
Okay.
optimization. That's going to help it so that it can maintain control when that booster lands and is
Okay.
recovered at the launch site.
Cool.
So, and also the three in the center, those gimbal as well to,
Kind of help stable.
guide
Yeah.
so that it lands
Sure.
properly. So, looking at 29,
Hmm.
so that's 35 total Raptor engines.
Jeez. Yeah, not an easy feat, and
I'm so excited to finally see this
oh, it's so
happening.
much engineering
You
going
know,
on.
he shared like a 10-second video of the booster actually, he's got it
Yep,
right
I'm gonna
there,
pull it up for you
moving
guys here.
on its way, right there, on its way to
There we
the launch pad.
go. Yeah, I pulled up the whole
So,
Twitter feed for you guys, and we'll reshare this on our Twitter feed as well, if it hasn't been
once
already,
it gets
because I know
to the
all
launch
this
pad,
usually auto feeds.
then they have to lift it
Right.
onto the launch tower, and then they have to stack the Starship on
Jeez.
top of it. Then they have to do cryo tests. They have to do static burn tests, make sure it works. Then they need FAA clearance. They have
Oh,
to
of
do an
course.
environmental study to make
Right.
sure that it's safe. So we're still probably a month away from the
Jeez.
launch,
Wow.
maybe less.
Okay, but still.
We know how SpaceX tends to speed things
Oh
along.
man, yeah. And I mean, they're
I
going
think we're
fast
going to
in
see it sometime
comparison to
this month.
NASA and most, I feel. But there is a lot more to see on that page as well. I'm going to scroll down a little bit more because they did have some pretty cool photos. This kind of gives you a better view of the.
Yeah, they're grid
Yep.
fit. You can see those. Those are stuck
Right.
open. That's just how they're doing it for
That's
this
fine.
one. In future orbital launches, they will stay down and fold open. But that gives you an image of the size.
Yes.
Look at the cars
Yeah. Let
down.
me see if I can resize this a
You
little bit
see
better
it.
for you guys here.
Um, and the Starship is right next to it. That's SN 20 right next to it.
Yeah. So you
So
can see the little
imagine
one next
little
to
guy.
it there, and then the big one. It's like what?
It's and we're finally seeing, like, you can see some of the reactions on the side
Mm-hmm.
of the Twitter feed, the little
The little
kid
kid's like,
cheering, and
yeah.
everybody's excited about this. It is such a
I love it.
we are that
Oh,
we are that much closer to interplanetary human
yep.
exploration.
And it's super exciting. I'm loving this. I think this is really cool stuff. I mean, that they got so much great videos, pictures, and you can see how much work they're putting into this. It's not light. You know what I mean? They took a lot of time, a lot of engineering. I mean, 20 to 30 some engines in one machine is not easy to. I can't even imagine trying to engineer something like that. So yeah, definitely kudos to the SpaceX team for getting this
And
going. This is huge.
especially when you have only a few tanks for the liquid oxygen and the propellant.
Yep.
to feed 27 and 29 engines, I'm sorry, at the same rate to make sure that they work
Yep.
together.
Yep. I mean,
It's a
yeah,
lot.
huge step in the right direction there. So loving that. So cool. So cool. Now, also in space news, we got a Russian satellite. I'm going to try to get this website pulled up for you guys here because this one had a really cool video, but it would not let me save it to the computer here. So I'm going to have to just loop it on the computer screen for you. And let me see if it lets me pull this up for you. Poof. Ah, there we go. Okay.
This was filmed from the space station,
Yes.
which I think
So
is
let me
really cool.
restart it from the
And
beginning
you
here.
see this. This happens all the time. Space debris re-enters the Earth's atmosphere
All
all
the
the
time.
time. This is nothing
No.
new. But you rarely get a chance to get such quality video of it breaking in the
I mean, it
atmosphere.
almost looks like it's CG'd. I mean, like the way it's coming into the thing. Now, you see it here detaching from the space station. They're letting
Yep.
you know that Pioneer 77 is on its way to pretty much be dismantled in our atmosphere. It's done. It's at its life cycle. We don't need this science anymore.
Well, they just replaced it with the new module that launched
Yep.
just I think within the
Yep.
last
Yep.
week.
And they had a
So
bunch of issues with
it's
that.
cool. It's unnecessary.
But
It can't really land on its
mm-mm.
own. There's no reason, so let it burn up in the
Yep.
atmosphere.
We've
Why
already
not?
got too much space
But
junk floating around. Yeah, they had to get rid of it.
yeah, very
But it gave us that really cool video. I thought that was awesome. Thank you, space.com, because that is so cool. The article is pretty cool too. I did read this a little bit. It's not horrifically boring, but it really goes into a ton of detail on really what the probe was, and like Andrew was saying, they just sent a new one up there to replace this one, so they don't need this one anymore. Um, and I think uh, during the docking sequence is when they had an issue with the space station, but I don't remember if this
yeah.
article talks about that at all. That was I was gonna mention
There
that.
was a misfire that kind of pushed the station off its normal
Yeah, a
access.
little bit of into it.
They think it's fine. They think they've got it all taken
Yeah,
care of. They're doing some tests to make sure it hasn't damaged any of the systems. But yeah, space station was kind of nudged off course a little bit.
little nudge there.
But they have thrusters that can reorient it. They have several gyroscopes on the outside
Absolutely.
that can, just by tilting the gyroscope, it will adjust where the
Right.
station is. Just tilting it is enough to move it because there's no gravity. It's why a lot of the exercise
Right.
equipment has to be floating
Yes.
inside the space station. If you are pedaling, you're creating momentum, and that
Actually
could
rotate or
push the
change.
space station off of its
Yep.
trajectory. It's all it
Yep. It's
takes.
not much.
So they have to think about this every set, and it makes minor course corrections all the
Right.
time. Just the fact that you have astronauts floating through the space station
Bumping into stuff.
without any other anything else affecting it. If you stood at one end and pushed off as hard as you
Right.
could, that would, even to a small extent, it would affect its
Exactly.
trajectory. That's physics
Right.
101. You know,
Yep. Yep.
it's Newton's law of
Yep.
motion, and
And yeah.
so
I,
they can make some adjustments. They can change things. Worst case, they could have, say, a Dragon capsule come up, fire its boosters, and move it.
right.
So no one was at
No.
risk. It might have messed with a few things. They're doing tests to make sure, but again, things
Yes,
happen.
this is not
But it's up
unusual.
there, a really cool light show.
Was.
So it's really nice.
Yeah,
to
and I
see.
guess this was really cool. I mean, we didn't get to see it on our side here. We've had a lot of meteor showers and stuff this year, so it's not like we've had an absence of things to see in the sky. But yeah, so at least we got to see it from a different point of view. Instead of from Earth, we got to see it from the space station. That's really cool. You don't get to see that very often here at all, which is pretty awesome. Now, our last space story is about black holes, and we touch on these every now and then. I got this cool image from NASA.com, and I think it's pretty cool. Now, it kind of relates to what we're talking about today because it's also talking about one of Einstein's theories that was actually proven to be correct, which is that black holes actually warp space-time themselves and not the actual matter around them. So they're not actually like physically sucking in matter. It's not like a giant vacuum.
Well, they
It kind of is,
technically
but
are. They technically are. That's what the accretion
Yes,
disk
yes,
is. But it's the
yeah,
gravity, the intense gravity that warps the space time around
yes,
it. Now, we've known, or we've theorized and known for 50
yeah. We've had
years
this math,
how black holes are supposed to
right?
work. And this is science actually
Yes,
working. This is what science is. Einstein had a theory, said black holes warp space, so you could theoretically see stuff from behind it, bent the light from stuff behind it or the back of it bent over so you could
right.
see it. We saw that in the animations from Interstellar and from the
Yes.
first photo of a black
Mm-hmm.
hole. And again, people always, I hear them going on about a scientific theory, that it's just a theory. It means it's based on observations and
Right.
testing. It's not just, oh, I have a theory about it. There's a lot more
You actually have
fact.
math to back up your theory. It's little more than just I got a piece of paper and a pen and I wrote down this theory and was like, hey, this makes sense. It's way more than that. You have to have really you're writing a thesis essentially, like a book, explaining the math, the science, the whole everything that goes into whatever you're trying to
Exactly.
prove.
And based on our observations, based on our knowledge
Absolutely.
of
Yep.
science, we will say, this is what we expect to see. So then you
Right.
experiment. And if what you expect to see is what you see, then your theory was
Yeah.
proven. Now, we've expected to see this for many, many years. It's only now that we have the capability and the
Mm-hmm.
technology to see these
Finally.
images, to see this from behind a black
Yep.
hole. So it's nothing
And it's not a
unexpected,
regular
but
telescope either. They had to use an X-ray
it's
telescope
another
to see these images.
it's
So,
another it's yeah, it we expected to see this, but now it's just another bit of proof to say, hey, he was
yep.
right. We knew he
We knew
was,
he was right,
but
but
now
we needed
more
more
evidence
proof
showing
because there was enough theories out there that could have easily disproved Einstein, equally as much. And so there was a lot of debate, especially on like, could you see the far side of a black hole? Could you actually see the ring and the light, and how does that work? And they're 800 million miles away or light years away. I'm sorry. So of course we're barely able to witness them as is. Plus they're black holes. It's not like it's a star. It's very different than trying to photograph something in darkness that is pretty much sucking up everything
it
around
doesn't
it.
allow light.
So they had to
Exactly.
design
So
special equipment just to see the black holes, let alone study them and understand them more. And the more we're understanding them and finding them and seeing them and studying them, we're realizing, wow, Einstein really had it right. And he's not the only one. Stephen Hawking also has been dead on with several of his conclusions with black holes and space time,
mhm,
and pretty much anything that related to those original theories of Einstein have all been so far really cinched down. So well done, Einstein, for not having any of the technology that we have today and being able
just
to do all of that in his head is just unbelievable. So I will post that
and
article for you
that's what
guys.
science is all about. If someone comes along and they discover something that disproves a good chunk of Einstein's
Oh, that'd be huge,
theories or disproves quantum physics or
right?
anything, they're going to win the Nobel
Oh,
Prize
absolutely.
because it will bring us closer to the understanding of the
Yep.
universe. It, it's not a dogmatic belief in this is how things
Right.
are. It's
Right.
we are pretty sure this is how things are because every experiment we've done lines up and agrees
Yes.
and shows
Yep.
that.
Yep. Absolutely.
The idea of objects falling at the same rate in a
Mm-hmm.
vacuum when everything else is
Yep.
equal. We've done many experiments. They did that on the
Yes.
moon. The astronauts famously dropped a hammer and a feather and they fell at the same rate. That is proving the theory of
Yep.
gravity,
Yep.
the law
That
of
was Newton.
gravity.
Yep. So yeah.
Yeah,
So
so
basics.
it's wonderful to see some of these things coming out right now, and with some of the new telescopes we're going
Oh
to
yeah.
have. I know there's the Webb telescope that's going to be an orbiting
Yes.
telescope.
Yes.
We also have the large, was it Magellanic
Oh
telescope they're
yeah.
building, I believe, relay, perhaps. That's not going to be
I think,
operational for several
yeah,
years. They're
another
still
5 years,
building
I
the
think, on that
mirrors,
one.
but it's going to be like a 40.
It's huge.
I'm
It,
probably wrong. I think it is 6, 7 meter diameter
and that's the
mirrors.
one that's
It's going to be
supposed
the
to
largest
be the
optical
replacement for
telescope
Hubble.
ever built.
Yeah. At
Um,
least I thought, but
Webb is the replacement for
oh,
Hubble.
okay.
This is just going to be the largest land-based optical
Oh, okay.
telescope. So it's not a
Okay.
regular telescope. It's not an X-ray telescope. It's mirrors and a camera.
And that's actually that's a lot of the telescope technology. If when you really break it down, it's not smoke and mirrors. It's really mirrors and cameras, as well as different kinds of instrument technology like infrared, ultraviolet readers and detectors as well. Because you've got all kinds of spectrums that our physical eyes cannot see, but they are like black holes eject X-rays. We do know this now, and one way we found that out was using an X-ray telescope. Was the only way to see
Again,
it.
there you were looking at what they theorized. Well, Hawking came
Hawking.
up with
That
it.
was
It's why
Hawking.
it's called Hawking
Yep.
radiation. Given enough time, a sufficiently small enough black hole will eventually fizzle out and
It will.
disappear
Yep. And this has been
because of the Hawking radiation, and it depends on
yes.
size. You can theoretically make a black hole the size of an atom if you really
Yeah.
wanted. I mean, it would be so much more mass compressed into that, but if it's small enough, it'll only last for a fraction of a
Right.
second because once all of the energy radiates out in what they call Hawking radiation, then the black hole is no more.
Exactly. So
It just it's gone.
yeah.
So yeah, that's how we measure where black holes are. We measure them based on how objects are orbiting
Mm-hmm.
them. If you see something in an orbit and there's
There's
nothing
no
in the
star.
center of it, it's probably a black
Yeah.
hole. We can't see it, but we know it's there because of how objects around it
Mm-hmm.
interact. But now we're getting to the point we can start to directly observe these black holes, and that's going to really open up a lot of opportunities in the field of physics.
Absolutely. Yeah, this is a huge doorway and super exciting for kind of a mixture of quantum physics and regular physics because there's a lot of stuff happening here that's it's very new territory. So these new telescopes and these new findings that keep popping up are just gonna really fuel our science and our technology. And I'm really excited to see where this goes because this is again, black holes I never thought would give us that much, information. I thought it would be a little more, like wishy-washy and like, oh, maybe this one's right and this theory's wrong and blah, blah, blah. But no, I mean, we're starting to get very definitive with our science and our evidence and even detection of them, like you're saying. So this is going to be huge for the future and for science. So, hey, really cool stuff. And again, I have that main article posted, which is an IGN article. So I'll share that with you guys in the source links. And I'll probably post one of like NASA's black hole list as well because they've got a bunch of really cool photos and stuff, which is where I got this guy. So awesome stuff. So I think that pretty much wraps up our space news for today, which was a lot of space news. But that was
It was.
it's good news, honestly. A lot of good news. At least Hubble isn't down again or anything like that. So that's pretty good stuff.
Yeah, she's still kicking.
She's still kicking.
I
She
mean,
gave us a few more
every
pictures. I'm
day,
not posting them this
we're
time.
on borrowed time because of how
Whew,
ancient
she
she is.
is.
But you know what? Every day she's working, we're gonna love it.
Exactly. And so far so good. I don't have any bad news to report there, which is awesome. I do have some interesting news about Windows 365. Now I brought this up. I don't think it was last week. I think it was the week before last. And Microsoft they're really pushing Windows 11, and this is also going to be all Windows 11 based. Right now it's Windows 10 based, but it will be obviously upgrading with Windows as they progress here, as you'd expect. So, and I'm sure they'll give you an option to choose which version of Windows you want with Windows 365 as well. Mainly because they just had to pause the program. They launched it earlier this week, and it went so well that they actually ran out of server space. There were too many people trying to sign up for it. So many businesses are excited about this. This is giving them pretty much unlimited PC ability wherever and whenever you are and wherever you, I mean, you could be in an elevator, at an airplane, you could be in a train, you could be on vacation, and you can pull up your work documents and pick up right where you left off, and fix stuff on your phone, on your iMac, on your iPad, on your computer, desktop, laptop, whatever it is. This is what makes Windows 365 so amazing, is that you're actually buying dedicated server hardware and processing power. So they're actually telling the server, hey, I'm going to take this one rack that has this one CPU and RAM and hard drive and dedicate it to this one user. And whatever they want, you're going to just always do whatever they want, essentially. And it's double encrypted, which means Microsoft can't even read what's on that server because it's encrypted from them. So it's double encrypted, which is awesome. So it's a lot of cool stuff happening here. The problem is that so many people were excited about it, it crashed the whole system, and unfortunately they had to pause it. So I do have a little picture here.
Hasn't that happened before?
Yes, this has happened
I feel
before.
like it was like the early days of Xbox Live. I remember there was some news story where so many people got on once and it overloaded a server. I don't remember
Yes.
anything else about the story, just that it happened. It was something huge,
Yeah,
though.
the Xbox Live, when it first came out with the 360, and I think it was Gears of War and Halo were all kind of coming out at the same time. Everybody was trying to get on Xbox Live like literally daily, and they had so many people signing up for Xbox Live that they just couldn't keep up with it, so they had to pause it for a few months. I distinctly remember having a 360 with the blades as the operating system, and it would not let you connect to Microsoft. Like you could sign in, but you couldn't play any games online. You couldn't do anything. You couldn't send any messages. It just verified who you were essentially and that you were there and you had a console. Then a huge software update came out a couple of months later, and poof, everything was fixed. And that's what they're doing right now. They're like panicking. So it's kind of a double-edged sword because you have to wait probably another month or two for them to get these new servers and everything up and running because this is a global effort for Microsoft. So it's a lot of work. But this is totally worth it. If you can get one CPU with 2 gigs of RAM and 64 gigs of storage for $24 a month, that's actually amazing. I mean, that's such a good deal. And that's, again, with the hybrid built into it. So that allows you to automatically pop up, your desktop wherever you are on your phone or whatever. You can do up to 4 CPUs, or I'm sorry, up to 8 CPUs and up to 32 gigs of RAM and 512 gigs of storage. And that gives you a $162 bill per month. So it is not cheap. That's why this is a business adventure. But it is, again, so worth it because it's connecting everything in a way that you don't even have to have this dedicated CPU hardware. You can have just a regular phone or old school tablet or something that just has an internet connection, and poof, you are getting that processing power on the other end, on the server side, which is exactly where you want that power. It used to be the other way around. Now we're starting to see this reversal. It used to be the user had the powerful computer. Like me, I have a really decent one sitting right next to me, which is kind of like a mini home server because it really does a lot of work. But now users don't need to have these powerful machines because the servers can do all of that work on the back end for you and just output graphics for your phone, and you're just inputting text and touch or whatever you need to. So this is huge. This is huge, and I think this is going to be really big. Again, give it another month or so, and I think we'll really see this pop back up there. I'll post that Windows link that gives you all of the prices and stuff if you guys do want to look into that and sign up for it. If you want to look at it for your business, go right ahead. It's definitely not a bad idea. Kind of cool. Really cool stuff. So, yes, super awesome. One last thing here, which is talking about, well, okay, so before I move on to my last topic, I did kind of want to talk about, I don't have a picture for this, unfortunately, but there's a lot of rumors that the notched camera is going to be going away on a lot of phones, including the iPhone and whatnot. I think the underscreen camera is going to be a big deal in this coming phone venture. So I think we might see something from iPhone Apple iPhone 13,
Can I
14,
make a
something like that.
confession?
Say what? Sorry?
Can I make a
Yeah.
confession? I am getting close to the point where I can upgrade my
Ooh.
phone. I'm considering trying an iPhone.
Okay. I mean,
I don't know how to feel about that,
I don't know.
but I'm looking at one of the Samsungs. I love it, but I'm also thinking, why not give it a shot? I know I'd make it
Right.
work for me. I don't. The cameras are pretty
They
damn
are really
good.
good.
So I'm kind of thinking, and I mean, I have Bluetooth headphones. I don't need a headphone
Yeah, yeah.
port. I might be
No,
switching.
and you're fine. I mean, it is what it is.
Don't
I
judge.
have nothing against the iPhone at all, honestly. And I think this is, I mean, they're great machines. They've done a great job. And there is rumors that their next lineup is going to have like a titanium body or some kind of weird metal or something instead of aluminum and glass, which is what they've been going for. Um, but I'm not sure how that's going to affect like wireless charging and or reception with NFC and like Apple Air.
Well, that's what I was curious about with wireless
Yeah.
charging because my LG, I have a new lamp. I just
Oh,
set it
cool.
on at night, and I don't know if do the iPhones do
They do.
that?
At least the majority of them do. I
Oh,
know the ones with the glass backs definitely do. I think if you get a full metal body one, which I'm not even sure, like the Max or the big giant one, the phablet kind of
yeah.
thing,
No,
I don't know if that one
so
does.
my LG does, but Andy's LG
Oh.
doesn't charge wirelessly, which is
I was like,
weird.
my
I think he
last
had more of
three
a base
generations
model.
of Samsungs all have, and I'm hoping to get either to the 21 Ultra or I'm really waiting for. Now that we're in August, I might as well give it another week and wait for this press release to come out because they're making some really outrageous claims that could state that you won't want a regular phone anymore. Is what they're stating is that you're gonna want this foldable crazy thing or whatever. So I don't know.
I
I don't know what
will
they're trying to claim here,
want to hold a phone for a
but they're
while.
trying to say you're not going to want your old school phone after you're done seeing these, and that makes me excited. So that I'm like, you know what? I've already waited this long. I might as well wait another week or two, and then I'll see what my upgrade options are with T-Mobile, which is who I have. I don't care for T-Mobile. I was a huge Sprint fanboy. I had them for a really long time, pretty much since high school. And then T-Mobile bought them out, and I am not happy about that, unfortunately. But at least my service has gotten better, so I don't have a problem with that. And I still have my old plans, so that's cool too. But anyway, so totally off phones. I'm thinking, a lot's going to be changing here in the next month with phones to maybe 2 months because I think Apple's got a new press release coming out later this month. Um, I know
See what
they
they have. If I switch, I'll have to talk about
Oh
it.
yeah, I was like, I know they did start releasing AMD graphic cards and upgrades for their iMacs as well. I saw that pop up on their website this week, which was really cool because I didn't think they were ever going to really go back to AMD. No, I mean, they're pushing their own hardware so much. I really felt like Apple was going to come out with their own graphic card, but maybe not. Maybe not. We'll see how that goes. We will see. Anyway, my last topic of the day for you guys is about alpacas, believe it or not. That could be our saving grace for COVID, which sounds so weird. I know. This is the weirdest article.
You go back to 2010 and tell someone alpacas might be the key to help save a large portion of the population from a rampant virus that has killed millions of people. You just tell them that. You tell people that a year
Right.
ago, and they're going to think you're
I,
crazy.
I would have thought you were crazy. This makes very almost no sense until you look at the science behind it, and then you're like, wow, okay, how did we not figure this out sooner? So alpacas have this lovely little, it's called a nanobody, which I had just learned what that was, and it's essentially kind of like an antibody, but instead of it destroying whatever it attaches to, it prevents whatever it attaches to from spreading, producing, and or getting into your actual system. So it'll actually it's kind of like a first step, like a T cell, where it attaches to and binds itself to the actual in this case virus, which is what that gray ovular thing is, and the green part is what they took from the alpaca, and just happens to fit perfectly with the COVID-19 virus, and it will prevent the virus from spreading, and it will prevent you from getting sick, and it will prevent everyone else from getting sick, and it will prevent this virus from spreading and mutating. This thing is amazing, and it is doing so well in clinical trials. They are already starting on human trials. So this could literally be coming out in the next like year to 5 years if they really get the same push that we saw with like Pfizer and Zoetis and
So
Moderna and all the other different ones. This
not so much vaccine. This would be more of
this is
like
not a vaccine.
it'd be like you said, prevent. So it'd be like prep
Yeah, yeah. This
for
is this
HIV.
is like you
That
didn't get the virus and you don't want to get the virus, and maybe you already have the vaccine, which gives you the antibody to fight the virus and the infection. But this could actually prevent you from getting it altogether. Even if the virus gets into your body, these nanobodies attach to the virus and prevent it from actually getting into the membranes and attaching itself. And then your immune system would normally attack it, kill it, and poof, it's gone. You have almost no symptoms, maybe like a runny nose and a little bit of a cough, but nothing compared to what you're
so
doing
even
before.
if you were infected, even if you got this early enough, it could reduce your symptoms, reduce the virus
Yep,
load
bye bye
possibly.
asymptomatics, because that would prevent you. You could be sneezing and coughing at people and it wouldn't matter because these nanobodies are protecting you and your cells. And that is huge. We have never really seen this technology before. We've been trying to build this technology in labs for decades and have gotten nowhere. I will say that
Well,
with a lot of
I'll tell
success.
you what.
But
If this is successful, there's probably going to be a movie about it in about 10 years. And
I hope so.
um, I know exactly who should play the alpaca. That sounds weird.
Sorry, my headphones just went out. But yeah, it is
Uh,
the
This
funniest,
sounds weird.
weirdest.
I know who has to play the alpaca in the movie, though.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And you're going to have to bear with me. On the stream, open up a
Okay.
browser to share with everybody. Like share it on through OBS.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Here, give me 1 second. Poof. I gotta hide this other picture here. There we go.
Okay, so just Google Taylor Lautner alpaca. LAU. Yep. That then add alpaca after that,
Oh, as
and
I
you'll
said, I
see
didn't
what
even
I
have to
mean.
get far with that. Oh my goodness. That's hilarious.
I had to when you started talking about alpacas. That's all I
Wow.
could think.
Oh my goodness. Wow. I don't know if you guys, you should be able to see that, right? Can you get, yeah, okay. This is amazing. Okay, so yeah, so
No shaming. No shaming.
not at all.
I respect Taylor Lautner. I hate the Twilight movies. I think he is a great actor. He actually got his start in Shark Boy and Lava Girl,
Yeah.
and he's actually from Grand Rapids.
Yeah, no,
Believe
he's
it
a
or not.
great guy. I mean, honestly, he's really decent actor. Again, I also hated the Twilight movies. Nothing against you, but worst writing ever. Anyway,
Pattinson hated the Twilight movies. He's still getting shit from that, and that's why half the people are afraid of him playing Batman. But I think he's going to
you
be
know, I think
great.
he'll actually do great as Batman. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to be able to
Did you
get the
see
llama
Michael
image out
Keaton
of my head,
coming
but
back?
I'm sorry.
Did you see Michael Keaton is coming back?
No, I did not see that.
He's going to be playing alongside. Um, I forget who. Alongside Ben Affleck
Really?
in the Flash movie.
Oh,
So
oh,
having Michael Keaton Batman, we're going to have his old Batmobile.
intriguing.
It's it's amazing. I cannot wait for that when that trailer finally comes out. We're
Oh,
sharing it.
absolutely. Yeah, we're gonna have to do a
The
movie episode here soon.
old school Tim Burton
Right.
Batman, the old Batmobile from the
Yep.
'90s. We're getting it back.
I'm excited. That's cool. Speaking of
Yeah.
news, I saw a movie this last week. It's on Amazon Prime, and it has I always forget his name. I'm so sorry. Stinking. He's from Jurassic World. Chris Hemsworth, I think is who I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
So he's in the
One of
Tomorrow
Chris,
War.
Chris, there's another Chris. There's a
There's
lot
so
of
many
them.
of them, but yeah, he's in the movie called Tomorrow War, and it's on Amazon Prime. And I have to commend this movie because I think it's the only one I think I've ever seen that actually might get time travel right. So, really, I mean, I know it sounds
There's
crazy.
one I have to find the link and send you to that actually does.
Anyway,
It was an independent film.
yeah.
I'll have to find it. We'll talk about it
Yes,
next week. I'll
definitely
dig
going
it
to
up.
have to do an episode about that stuff. But yeah, so alpacas could be our life saving change for COVID. I know, and
And they make a pretty great wool. I
that is
love
true.
knitting with alpaca
That is
wool.
true.
So
Yeah, and I really think that we could be seeing. I know that if you're depending in Michigan here, we're kind of in a 50-50 zone. It's like, we're bad, but we're not terrible. We're okay. I know like
Florida,
Florida's doing
shitty.
bad and
So
Texas is doing bad. So I'm really hoping things start turning around for those counties. Fingers crossed. Get your vaccinations, please. If you've only got the one shot, please get the second. Especially if you got the Pfizer, the Moderna, you need that second one. That really gives you the boost that you need. If you got the Johnson & Johnson, kudos for you. If you haven't gotten any of them, please talk to your doctor. Please talk to your friends. Please go to the
honestly,
pharmacist. Talk to them about it. They will help you out. This is
well,
definitely
I can. We can obviously not give medical
no.
advice, but I've read that even if you've had the Johnson and Johnson
Mhm.
vaccine, you still could get the
You
Pfizer
can.
or the Moderna.
Yes, you absolutely can. I have read
So
that as well. You can actually get
get
the other ones because it's a different. You got mRNA versus
exactly.
like a live, viral. It's a very different kind of connection there. So you got two different vaccines. Again, we haven't had our vaccine episode. I'm still working on that one because that's something I don't want to screw up. So I'm making sure.
It changes everything too, which
Yes.
is
Um,
it's hard to film, edit, and work on a video when the facts change every single day. Again,
yeah.
I got to see a live stream.
and
That may have to be just scripted live.
Exactly, just like the alpaca episode, or I mean the news. This is very, again, it's changing all the time. So that's why, again, I had to just kind of throw out everything I had done before. Even though I was mainly working with masks and getting vaccinations in the arms is really what my first episode about was going to be for COVID. And that's still very relevant because a lot of places are still requiring masks, and I don't have a problem with that at all, honestly. And I am vaccinated. I understand the need for that. Again, I've had one cold in the past 2 years, so I don't mind wearing masks. Like, this is awesome. I don't mind. I haven't had a flu in forever, and unfortunately, haven't even had my flu shot, which is a problem. I definitely need to get that as well. But anyway, so we'll definitely make sure things are coming. Schedules may be changing September 1st. I am going to be getting a new job, and so I am going to be maybe shifting the schedule for our live shows, but I will definitely keep everybody posted because that could definitely change. Right now, they're all staying at noon, and October 4th, we'll be returning with our main episodes, which will be alternating Mondays or every other Monday. You'll have a new episode pretty much, or twice a month. Two new episodes, so that's not so bad. And we're still going to be doing our random daily discoveries. Again, it's been a real busy summer up here in Michigan. It is our
Oh yeah.
tourist time. And I know my Taco Bell has literally been having like $1,000 hours every single day. I'm sure you're pretty much in that boat too. So I'm sure you're feeling it. So yeah, it's been tough. So yeah, but
Hey, we're making it though. We're
we're
doing it.
doing great.
It's tough.
And I really appreciate everybody for sticking with us and at least watching what you can about our What's New Wednesdays episodes. And again, hit our web address, our email up top. We're also on Instagram, Facebook. We got Facebook group going as well. And so just check us out anywhere. Leave us comments, leave us a review. Let us know how we're doing. You want a topic you want us to hit? That'd be great. Otherwise, I will see you guys all later. Thank you all for tuning in, and hopefully you all learned something new. I know I definitely did. But thank you all for tuning in. I will see you guys later. Take it easy, everybody.